This is Sherlock Tavia, and I and my sister are here to do another podcast. We're just going to give our general reviews and reactions to the 2019 movie Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix and directed by Todd Phillips. All right, first question. What were your general overall thoughts on the movie?
Well, I think it was good. It was so good because it has some actual depth. It wasn't just like some little frou-frou superhero movie where they're like, oh, let's fly around, save the day. We're so hot and masculine or feminine, depending on which movie you're seeing. It portrayed an actual guy with some actual problems that spiraled down into the dark depths of darkness, who couldn't handle his demons for a factor of reasons, not all his own, a mix of his environment, his mental stability, his resources, his family history. See, it brings all that into one story and how it affects one man and how he becomes a symbol of uprising against society. And that's exactly what I think the movie set out to do. Not try to be some fun action flick, not try to be Marvel plus betterness, not trying to be Suicide Squad minus Harley Quinn. I just think the people who made this movie wanted something real and dark, but not just let's kill a bunch of people and have the Joker run around all crazy and whatnot. This was like a subject or a study on the human condition. And I noticed my co-host over here seems to be laughing quite a bit. I'm not sure why. I don't know what's so funny. Unless, I know this is some commentary on how the Joker laughs. But let's hear his general thoughts.
Well, for one, I know I'm in the minority here. But I did not like the movie. I mean, the name of the movie is Joker, but there's almost no point in it being a comic book movie or even about the Joker. We barely see the Joker proper in the movie at all. I mean, 100% of the movie is devoted to Joaquin Phoenix's character Arthur Fleck, but we don't see the Joker in full suit and makeup till like the very ending of the film. It felt more like a wannabe Scorsese movie, like say a remake of Taxi Driver or King of Comedy than a proper Batman or Joker movie, and I expected to see at least a little more Joker. All right, my second question is, what did you think about Joaquin Phoenix's performance specifically?
Okay. It wasn't, his performance was spot on because it wasn't supposed to be a Joker movie. It was an origin story of what made Arthur Fleck the Joker. And Joaquin Phoenix, I think, has drawn from real life experiences and troubles he's had to face, and he brought it to this character who's facing struggles, poverty, an ill parent, not a good job, not one that will support him and his family, and the struggles he faces with mental illness, trying to find resources that will help him deal with it. I think he brings this all together, and they bring that element of fiction to something that is very realistic by having him transform into the Joker, which is kind of, from this movie, the symbol of untreated mental illness.
Well, I'm not really familiar with Joaquin Phoenix as an actor or a person outside of this movie. I mean, I thought his performance was good. He brought a lot of intensity and emotion into it. I didn't think the script itself, really had him do a whole lot. Like, I mean, I didn't like the long stretches of him just sort of staring into the camera and making faces or laughing, or the sort of slow dance sequences. I mean, I thought that made the movie drag a little bit. And again, so I mean, I enjoyed his performance, just not necessarily. I thought the script could have had a little more meat. He could have brought more to the role if the script had a little more meat to it. All right, next question. What'd you think of all the intensity and violence? Like, it's rated R. It's extremely violent and emotionally intense. Do you really think that's appropriate for a comic book movie?
Okay, this wasn't a mere comic book movie. This was not meant for family fun night, feel good family of the year. Okay? And if you think it should have been, well, that's crap. Okay? Every movie doesn't have to be, oh, let's take the kids to go see Spider-Man or Batman. No. Sometimes you need a movie with depth, okay? And as far as violence, there was some graphic scenes, but it wasn't just like violence after physical violence after violence, like, just shoot people, stab people. No. It was more of an emotionally intense movie. If you have any feelings at all, if you like to feel things besides happiness, which I know happiness is great, but sometimes it's great to explore other feelings, then maybe you should consider seeing this movie and not just be some pansy flake on the sidewalk who thinks every movie should be Iron Man 3 or Thor Ragnarok with some bad comedic puns that are stupid and aren't even comic book related. Do you know how graphic and violent and disturbing comic books are?
All right, so look, I don't have the problem with the violence in this movie per se. To a certain extent, I wanted to see more of it, but more of him as the Joker doing it. Like maybe the Joker developing a following. Like at this point, from here on out, we're going to be going into major spoiler territory, because I want to point out the sort of following he gets from the crowd at the end of the movie. I wanted to see that from like the second half of the film. As far as the film being disturbing and meaningful, I mean, personally, I don't have time to get into the plot synopsis, but movies like Precious or Schindler's List or The Gray Zone or 12 Years a Slave, those were all disturbing, visceral movies that were meaningful, but personally, I don't think. I think the Joker was saying less than what it thought it was saying. I don't think it really had a definitive point of view. I think it was just sort of mostly a Scorsese knockoff with some comic book characters thrown in to get more people to see it. This would be my last question. What did you think of how it did tie into Batman? Of course, you saw that toward the end of the movie, Bruce Wayne's parents getting shot, and the fact that there most likely won't be a sequel.
The fact that there won't be a sequel, I'm going to touch on that first. That's great. Every movie doesn't need a flippin' sequel. First of all, sequels pretty much across the board suck. Okay? You get a really good first movie, you get some crap sequels that they throw together because they'll know that the audience will go see it because they're like, oh, well, this is the follow-up. I got to spend my money on this. Having a movie that can stand alone is great. Now, this one I feel like did drag in some places, and I'm not sure if I like how they brought Bruce Wayne into it. He's significantly younger than Arthur Fleck, which I found kind of strange. Just because Arthur seemed kind of old in this movie to begin with, and by the time Bruce Wayne grew up to become Batman, he'd be like, I don't know, like 65 and like, probably already halfway in his grave. I don't know. And Bruce Wayne's parents were also really old in the movie. I'm not sure why that is. I feel like, I guess Thomas Wayne was good to play off of because he represents the high society that makes empty promises that they're going to fix the crisis or help the crisis, and they apparently do nothing. I just don't know about... I feel like it's kind of rushed to tie it in with Batman. Maybe if they had just left that part out, but then I guess you kind of be left hanging, and it couldn't be a standalone film, which would have sucked again. So, again, maybe they could have shortened it, changed a few things up, but overall, I still think it's pretty good for what it was advertised to be and what it wanted to be and what it was.
Again, I did not like the movie. I did not feel the same way. I wish it was, if you want to make a Scorsese movie or an art house movie or a character study, make that. Don't just try to tie it into Batman. If you're going to make a Joker movie, tie it into Batman a little more. It felt like it didn't really know what it wanted to be. So I guess that about wraps it up.
I have one final remark. This was the movie we needed, not the movie we wanted.
Well, I guess again that about wraps it up. And thank you for your time, and God bless.